We have a visitor.
You just want loves? Hi, loves. Hi, babies. You're not kissing my face, though. No, get off my face.
Peanut.
Just don't eat anything off the floor.
Say hello.
What's up, Brite Nation?
What's up, Brite Nation?
Today, we're working on Ragnarok. So that's the CJ that's in the shop, and we finally got tables full of parts. Just tables. So we got all the ignition stuff, the fuel injection, all of the parts to fix the motor and make it run right so that we can then start getting into the suspension and stuff. But right now we need to make it run and reliable. We got all the new lights, everything to make it street legal and safe. So we're just gonna get into it and probably get this motor torn down and get the fuel injection kit in and see if it runs on its own under its own ignition. Update on the CJ, if you don't remember, it had a lot of rats.
Oh my.
That's a lot. Oh boy. Oh my God. They've been living in that for a minute. So we ripped out all of the harness from the headlight to the taillight and replaced all that. I wired it up enough to make sure that the engine still ran. And once we knew that the engine ran, now we're gonna make it run good. Even gooder.
Like a champ. Because we're putting a champion in it.
Oh, we'll get to that later. So there she is. So the first thing we're gonna do is get rid of this, and let me show you what we're gonna put in there instead. This is one of those German tops, right? Comes with toys. Hose, an O2 sensor, and another bubble wrap blob. Now let's see what's all in it. So this kit is pretty intuitive. Absolutely every connector is labeled. We'll get the instructions out. Believe it or not, we'll get the instructions out and find out how this works. Because I don't want to screw this one up.
So it's a Howell fuel injector.
Howell fuel injection. This is the California legal kit. They have a non-California legal kit. I don't know what the difference is, but obviously the California one costs more money because this vehicle will be in California when it's done. An ECU, gaskets, and a spacer. Oh, this is the adapter for, look at that. That is awesome. Look at that machining work. That's pretty sweet. So they make a flow adapter from the throttle body to your stock manifold. All the gaskets and hardware. Oh, I know what this is. So this is a GM based throttle body for probably a V6 of some sort, but it's just a throttle body. It just delivers fuel based on the ECU. So this is what makes it run on fuel injection. Pretty awesome. We'll get this plumbed in. We have to plumb in an electric pump because you now need more fuel pressure. This is just a spacer.
Something light for sure.
Just what I've always wanted. Cardboard block. Look at that, it's honeycomb. I wonder if there's any honey in there. Nope, no honey. All right, let's get the instructions out. Oh, look at that. Oh, here you go. So you can get a California legal carb number.
Oh, nice.
To make this legal in the state of California, which is awesome. So you can fuel inject your old Ford 2 in the state of California. We got everything taken off, and Beck's cleaning up all the mounting surfaces so we can put the new thermostat and water pump in it. This steering column had been sitting outside for a very long time. It's pretty ratchety. Like I can't even get the key out of it. It won't unlock anymore. It'll start, but we couldn't get the key out. It won't lock. The shifter was like really loose inside, so we got a new one. So I just went with a 33-inch GM column with key, so it's identical to this one. Got the gear selector. It's upside down right now because this one had this mount on here and this one doesn't. So we made one, and now we're just gonna get this stuck on there, bolt this up underneath the Jeep, and then get it back in. These are all in the relatively the same spots. This one's just flipped upside down, but it works. It has all the same wires. The only other thing we have to change is on this, compressor. On this end, we just have to put a different joint, a different U-joint, which I have this U-joint too. This is a 1-inch double D. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get this stuck on there so that we can mount it in the Jeep. Okie dokie. So we have the new bracket epoxied in there, and then there's a hose clamp on there. This just really needs to hold this so that you can change gears. And then I put a piece of rubber on this end, so when we put that column clamp back on there, it just help hold it nice and tight and keep it sealed up. Vibrations and noises and stuff. So we'll get this put in there so that we can make that side work. So now we have the stock steering shaft out. You just cut this off and weld on a 3/4 double D, which fits inside because that's the same shaft that this is. This is a 3/4 double D, so it fits perfectly inside. And then we just put the steering column back in, we insert the steering column, make sure it's roughly in the center here with the bolt, so that there is some adjustment here, so slide this up and down. So we just kind of went right in the middle, and then we line this guy up, and we put this guy right on the end, and put both shafts in, and then we slid it inside the steering column, made sure it was all the way on, tacked it in, pulled it back out, then finished welding it. Plug welded it on the sides. I don't think this thing is gonna go anywhere. I'll clean up the rest of this rust and we'll rattle can this guy black. I do have a new boot coming, which these are serviceable. And this is actually really tight still. I mean, it goes this way and it does this, but it's very, very tight in there. So we're just gonna replace this boot and go ahead and put it back in. Another thing I want to mention is make sure your wheels are straight. I put the steering wheel back on the steering column. I made sure everything was straight and everybody was in the middle of the road. So all the joints were roughly in the middle of their travel so that there's no binding. There's plenty of adjustment in everything that is on here. And then I tacked it together. And then we pulled it back apart, pulled it out, and welded it up. So make sure the wheels are straight when you start. Then the steering wheel is straight before you weld it together. Otherwise, everything will be off a little bit. All right, so now that the steering column is installed, I have a trick for you guys. So next we have to put the air box back in, but as you know, as you recall, the rats have eaten the blower motor and fan. So I searched and searched and searched and searched, and I could not find a replacement wheel for the motor. You can buy the motors all day, but you can't really find the replacement wheels for an 83 CJ5, CJ7, any one of the CJs. But you can find them for a 1973 Chevy C10. It's the exact same motor and blower wheel, and it fits like a glove. The little power lead on the back, perfect location, 73 C10, little secret. So now I'm gonna get this, finished putting this box together so that we can get this installed, because then I wanna put the dash back in. As you can see, it goes right in the hole. All the little detents line up, all the bolt holes line up, and that's where the little power guy comes out. It's pretty sweet. So there you go. Chevy C10, blower motor and fan. Super cheap, you can get them anywhere, and you bolt right on. Usual, I was wrong. It does fit, except for the fact that the motor is this much bigger than the one that was in there. So how do you make a big hole a little bit bigger? By taking a piece of angle iron and bolting it in there between here and there, finding center, putting a 1/4-inch hole in it, and then using a 3-inch hole saw and cut that just a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger. Let's clean that hole up and see if we can get this motor in there. Now it should fit. But first I'm probably gonna hit that with a little bit of primer, just so it doesn't rust. Give that like 10 minutes and we'll put the box in. Movie magic. Now we can get this box in here. Silly heater. All right, so before I was rudely interrupted by that heater, the box is in. It's got brand new hardware on the backside, and the motor does fit. Let me see if I can get you in there and check that thing out. And as you can see, it fits perfectly right under the battery. So we got brand new hardware on there. We'll get that plugged in, and then we'll finish putting this box on here. And yeah, she's looking pretty good. We just gotta get the duct that goes from here to there. We'll be ready to put the dash back on. She can't even wait. She's already in it.
What?
I said you couldn't even wait for me to get the phone.
Well, no, you weren't fast enough. Exciting, Chris.
Somebody got new presents. It's a box of paper and bags. Dun, da, da, da. Oh, they did a really good job. Holy cow.
Look at how thick that is.
All right, FYI, if you get anything from Jet Hot, it comes back super wrapped up and protected. So there's that. That's a good thing.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty.
That is super pretty. Oh, I can't wait to see that on the rest of the Jeep.
It has like a sheen to it.
It looks almost identical to the powder coating. Pretty close. All I see is a sheen in the window here. It's almost that same color. That is sick. Yeah, so they did do the double coating, the extra on the cat, because we know the cat gets super hot. And then they only did the single on the actual bellow, but then this is double coated and this has the double coat on it.
Yeah, you can see the difference between.
So the texture is the extra layer of awesomeness that makes them super, super heat resistant.
You can still see the MF or Magnaflow too.
Yeah. Another piece. Yeah, see, this one only has the single because this doesn't get super hot. So they only really did the extra on just the cat, but that looks amazing. Yeah, it came out really good. Can't wait to get it in the chassis.
I know. Before we put all the fuel injection stuff in, we want to make sure the fuel tank is clean, which we're probably 99% sure it's not.
So all we got left to do is pull those two guys off, and then we can finish dropping it. So we got the filler necks off. Now we gotta take those lines off and finish pulling it out, and we'll get it all cleaned up. Oh, and we can hang the wiring harness under there up like we wanted to. So let me get the rest of those off. We ended up just cutting the wire, or cutting the hoses, because they're pretty nastily dry rotted anyway. So we're gonna have to replace them. This actually doesn't look that bad, this harness, so we'll probably leave that. But it's out. And now we just gotta move the jack and put it on the floor.
How heavy is it? Is there anything in it?
I don't know. We're definitely gonna clean it up a little bit. Yeah. I don't know what it is, just rubber. Rubber or tar paper or something?
Yeah, definitely need to be cleaned up some.
Oh yeah, look at all the mud in there. All right, so we'll get this thing cleaned out. We'll make sure that's empty and put it back together.
We have a visitor.
Hi, babies. You're not kissing my face though. No, get off my face. Just don't eat anything off the floor.
Say hello.
Just don't eat anything off the floor. Beck's in here getting all the diagnostic ports all put in. We got the ECU put in the stock location where there used to be another ECU in there for the old California version. So that's all in there. We have all the ducting. So I think we're ready to put the dash back in now. Finally ready to put the dash back in. Whee! So we got the dash installed. Beck and I got the fuel tank put back in, got the fuel lines ran, got the fuel pump on the frame under there. You really can't see it, but it's right where it's supposed to be. We got the carburetor, well, the throttle body, excuse me. We got the throttle body back on. We're waiting for one more piece. We're waiting for a factory alternator bracket because this had an AC system in it, but it really wasn't the factory AC. He doesn't want AC put back in here, so we're waiting on one more bracket. We can get that one bracket and install the alternator, and this thing will be ready to fire. I don't know when that's gonna show up. FedEx or UPS has been a little laggy lately because of the weather and stuff, but I swear it's coming soon. We also have another project in the works, and we're probably gonna get onto that real quick and then get back to this. So that'll probably be the next video. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying to go as fast as I can. I'm gonna end it right here because we got other things to do and I don't wanna mix the videos up. So remember to like and subscribe and share. And you can get all your Lite Brite merch and decals at litebritstudios.com. And we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys. Bye. What? Do you want loves or something? Yeah? Come here. What are you talking about? What? What? Get no way. Really? Oh, hi.
What are you doing?
I love you. Oh, you're knocking me over. I love you.
You little boo boo. Peanut. I love you.
You can't climb. You don't quite have those opposable thumbs, do you?
Boo, boo, boo.